Hi, it's Santi. So today is August 15th. This is a very important day for Japanese people because 75 years ago there is World War II and then today it closed, 1945. So today's topic is kind of heavy. It's about war, World War II. Okay, let me read the comment, okay, first. It's from Kabuki Wiki-san. Thank you always. I have a request, and then that is for you to make a video on the Japanese view of World War II as a generality. I think most Nisei like me, Sansei and Yonsei need to hear it. Thank you. So, by the way, Nisei, Sansei, Yonsei means second generation, third generation, fourth generation, okay? So he is Japanese American. Okay, to be honest, this is my sixth time to take a video about this topic. I took a video, took a look, but it's not good enough. Sometimes too much information, sometimes lack of information, sometimes it's difficult to explain, even though it's generality. But let me try again, okay? I hope this is the last video. So, in one word, if I simply tell you that, what's a view, the Japanese view of World War II? It will be very similar to what you have in America. What do you think? Is it simple? Yeah. So, Kabuki Yuki, I think he lives in America. So whatever you learned in America about modern history, about World War, about World War II towards Japan. Whatever you learned it, we learn kind of same stuff in here. Because we lost a war. That's why. Whenever there's a winner, there's a war, there's a winner, there's a loser, right? And the winner always they rewrite the history. Their winner side logic is always became the normal standard about that topic. Especially when it become like let's say whatever the instance happens way before 100 years ago, 200 years ago, trust me, that loser side logic you'll never seen or heard nowadays. So whatever you learn it in school, that's winner side logic. And then since we lost the war and America came to Japan 1945, and then they start new education system, better education system, and also they made a new textbook. So we learned that, we used that. Nikkyoso, for Japanese people, Nikkyoso. So they came to Japan and they started publishing the books, creating new textbook. That's why we start learning that World War as you guys learn in America. As I told you in the video, this one, WGIP, World Guild Information Program, that's very critical. You should know it too if you're Japanese, if you have interest in Japan, and if you plan to come to Japan, you should know it. Because that program is definitely a good example about winner's logic. Of course, in a school, we never learn it. So how do I learn that kind of stuff? By smartphone, or tablets, or YouTube, Facebook. Nowadays tablets are small devices, and in many young platforms from startups, we can use it, and then everyone can broadcast on idea, on research. So if you have motive to study, to dig more, you can find out a lot of information or data, and you can get close to the facts. Winner's logic, sometimes they hide, sometimes they totally manipulate, sometimes they manipulate is a good word here, the people in the wrong way. So sometimes also double standard we call, when you say right, sometimes when you say right, but sometimes you say no, not right, so double standard. So that kind of happens. Therefore, it is very important to reach out those information. But most of the Japanese people doesn't want to do. They don't want to do, because as they got educated in a school, World War II was our fault. World War II because it happened because of us. We suddenly somehow attacked Pearl Harbor. We suddenly somehow start invading Spain or France or England land in Asia. We somehow start attacking like South Korean, Chinese, whatever. There is no reason, but we somehow doing that because the army was crazy, and then the government could not control them. That's why it happened. That's how we learn. Of course, if you hear that, if I hear now, rationally start wondering like this. By the way, why, first of all, they start attacking Pearl Harbor? Wait a minute. You said Japan invading like Spanish land or like in a land of French, England, whatever in Asia. But wait a minute. Those countries are the one first colonized in Asia. They're the one started the colonization, right? Or like this, What about them? And then what's the reaction of those Indonesia or like those people from Asia? How did they react when Japan came? If I were, if I hear those ideas as I learned in high school, I could ask that kind of question to my teacher. But if you're young enough, you just observe, right? That's it. So just take it as it is, and you study hard. That kind of winner's logic. Yeah. But it happened to me. It's me, not the other kids. Okay, it happened to me when I went to overseas. After I started meeting Taiwanese or other Asian people, European people, even other like American people, they see Japan like really in good way sometimes. Japanese people hate Japan somehow because of those education, but outside people, they really respect Japan. They love Japan. They love Japanese culture too, anime. So I start having, the pride as being Japanese. At the same time, some countries like neighbors start attacking me. No, they love to debate about whatever the problem they find, or those stuff with me in school. I could not debate because I had no idea. Whatever I learned in school was we are the bad one, we're the bad one, we're the fault, we're the cause for anything about World War or after World War II. So we should apologize. That's how we learn in school. Of course, I didn't even notice that. That was winner's logic. But as I start studying about who or other those China stuff, whatever, there are many space that have argue about that, especially about Yanfu. That's seriously, as I explained in that video. Take a look at the comments. I replied one guy. That guy really not attacking, but started bringing up about that kind of stuff, even though that's totally different topic of the video. I explained it kind of well in written, so you can read if you want. And if you have any against if you have find the faults in the logic, let me know. Or if you have better fact, let me know with resources. But he brought me some resources, but such a biased URL, and also the author was extremely left side, and somehow she writing down like so many anti-Japan articles, stuff. It is not a valuable or trustworthy resource, I felt. See, now I can see that kind of discussion logically. But if you just have domestic education, and then if you just grew up in Japan, most of Japanese people think that World War II was our fault, and I'm sorry for people. How many times I should apologize to you? Korea, how many times we should apologize? How many times we should give money? They never stop. And as you might know, that South Korea, Yanfu was totally lied. It's totally such a bullshit. No offense, but as I explained in the comment, you can read that the flow. Please read the flow, how the problem started, and who started, and then how it's expanded, and also how it ended, like last May, April. It's finally done, because they start saying that there is no Yahoo, and then they start saying that, people inside said, do not solve this because you get more money from Japan, and then they start using that money for themselves, and they start their fighting among them because of the money. How ridiculous they are, seriously, man. And the person who supported that, mayor of Seoul, I think he was a lawyer or something, he was supporting for feminism, women's rights, sexual harassment, whatever. He was a face of that kind of activities, but he was the one doing sexual harassment for a long time. And then before the police find out, he suicided. I'm not saying that the country has tons of problems. However, if you just look at the facts, there are tons of space that is that true? Are you serious? Like this kind of question. But if you just have domestic education, if you just watch Japanese TV, you won't have this kind of question. And Japanese characteristics, they are very modesty. They don't like argument. They don't like fighting. They love harmony for the last 2,000 years. They don't like they like peaceful stuff, right? That's us. That's our culture. Therefore, first of all, bringing up those political debate or bringing up those controversial topics, especially about the world war and stuff, they don't want to do that. At the same time, in America, let's say in America, yeah, do you like your own country? If I ask these questions, most of them say yes, Americans. And then if I ask this question, are you left side or right side? They might say, I'm left, I'm left or right? They say that, I don't mind. There is a clicks, there is like a swerved idea. It's fine, that's people, right? I'm more towards the right, towards the left, whatever, right? But and the basis is you love your own country. That's fine, and that's okay, right? To love your own country, right? But because of the education in Japan, if you say I love my country, they might label you. Are you extremely right? Not right, extremely right. Seriously. And then if you say, the default is to hate, to be shameful, being Japanese. That's how they are, because of education. Yeah. So if you're wearing the flag, let's say, this is a good example. For example, when I was in America, I had many friends, international friends, from Rwanda, Taiwan, Bolivia, Vietnam, whatever, Spain, so many, England. They have own flag in the room, okay? They have own flag. And because of my identity, I started having identity. So after I went to Buffalo, I wanted to have my own flag. So when I came back to Japan for my summer holiday and stuff, I went to a shrine, got the Japanese flag, right? I went back and put a flag in my room. And then what happened? When my friends came to my room, when he saw my flag, he said, "Are you fucking right wing?" And he was shocked. His face, I was like, "Yo, dude, you're Japanese too. What the fuck, man?" He said, "I don't want to be Japanese. I don't like Japan." Like this. Oh my God, seriously. This happens. So throughout this video, you might feel already, somehow Santi is fighting with someone who hates Japan, right? Indeed, there are people who hate Japan, even though they are fucking Japanese, you know what I mean? That's why this education system is totally fucked, because of since World War II. And then, even though we can reach out those information by smart devices or like those like platform, YouTube and stuff, not many people does want to do that stuff. First of all, they work hard. They're busy. They want to do stuff. And again, if they start talking about this, you're watching about this, they start being labeled by someone. And again, as I told you many times in this channel, public eyes is so important in here. So once you be labeled in that way, that's not good. It's same to Korea too. In Korea, South Korea, I have many Korean friends too, so I know that. South Korea, and I've learned that language for 3 years, so I have the right to talk about this, I guess. And then South Korea, their public social pressure is so strong, so strong. So the country has one belief that is anti-Japan. That's their belief. I think anti-Japan, because the South Korean people doesn't have a strong pride about being Korea, but they might have it, but they have it especially when it comes to anti-Japan stuff. That's so strong. That is so strong. It's like a trigger. They wear the flag, England flag, Italy flag, everywhere. But trust me, they don't wear the Japanese flag, Seriously. So, but they wear Korean flag. That's true. Yeah. But anyway, so in Korea, most people have one idea. Let's say we should go that way. Yeah, that's how the Korean people does. We should go that way. But even though you think I should go that way, you can't go. You have to go that way too, because that's how South Korea has social pressure. We should go same way. That social pressure is still so strong, far stronger than Japan, I think. Therefore, South Korea is always united. Yeah, in that way. So back to Japan. Japan is similar too. Yeah, we kind of have similar kind of unity about not to be patriotic. Yeah. So if you say like I love Japan, I'm patriot, it's not good, to be honest, to talk. It's kind of dangerous, If my Japanese people, if some Japanese people watch my channel, they might think that I'm extremely right hand side. Yeah, extremely right. If I talk like this, but just imagine, man, seriously. We can talk, right? Most of people from outside the country think that I'm neutral. I mean, I love my country, yeah, but I don't really attack people. I want to be neutral always, to be objective. That's so important. But just to talk like this, that's it. If you must have the shameful attitude, be jigyakushikan. I don't know in English this one, but always blame yourself. My fault. Yes, my fault. Seriously, WW2 program did well in Japan. So the most of people that has that kind of default. So when you say I love my country, they think, oh my God, he's fucking right hand side. That kind of stuff. Do you think it's crazy? Yeah. But anyway, that's Japan. You don't know. Kabuki Yuki. So when I was in California, I stayed in California for 3 or 4 months. I worked for one of the real estate guy. He's a great guy. He had a lot of money. So one thing I felt is the Japanese community overseas has stronger custom tendency, about keep Japanese custom, I think. Osebo Jigen or like お礼をするとか reply to people or give back to people, be manner, be polite, and many things. Yeah, that's stronger than current Japan, I think. So you might find my talking like this is kind of odd or strange for you, but that's what it is right now as far as I see. So I don't know. I think I talked too much this time. But anyway, I hope this give you the idea about World War view, Japanese view of World War II as generality. Yeah. So again, why don't you ask other Japanese YouTubers and stuff? I think there are many. Ask same questions. Most of them, they don't answer you. They really ignore you. They really ignore. If they say, we are the bad guy, I'm sorry, we are bad, they're gonna start an apology, blame themselves. Yeah. They don't care. They don't know. They don't care about the situation, the environment back in days, because that's how they train, educated. Yeah. So why don't you ask them? Ask your friends. Ask your pure Japanese friend. Don't ask a Japanese American. They are no Japanese. Ask a Japanese who got education in Japan. I'm sure they will answer that kind of way, as I told you. If not, I like them. Anyway, so that's it. I hope this helps someone and then got idea. If you have any comment, let me know. I know I talked many controversial stuff today this time, but if you have anything, let me know. And then when you talk to me, give me the resource too. Yeah, like I heard, I thought, I felt. It's okay. You talk to me your subjective idea, your imagination, or whatever. It's just that's fine. I read in somewhere my anime expression is fine, but whenever you talk about this modern history, I really appreciate that. If you give me some resources, or at least where it comes from. So if you tell me that, if you have the URL, it definitely helped me out to study more, because I want to know more. Seriously, I want to know truth. That's who I am. Okay. But again, I love my own country. So what's up? Is there a problem? No, right? So if you wanna start attacking that point, get the fuck out. Yeah. All right. See ya. Bye.